Okay. Hello, my loves. Thank you guys for joining us today. This is Talks with Toya on the Complete Woman podcast. So you guys can tune in on YouTube, or you can go to the podcast and tune into that as well. But I want to thank you guys for joining us now. And if you have seen that, this is a series about grief. And so the first episode is with my boy John Ortiz.
Hello,
so
everybody.
he so we're going to have a conversation about grief because he just recently lost one of my dearest friends, his wife, Tiffany Ortiz. And I started this series. Let me go back. I started this series because I got questions from people about grief. And I mean, I grieve and I have dealt with grief and stuff like that, but I really wanted to approach it the right way. And I really wanted to make sure that every aspect of it was touched because I haven't lost a sister. I haven't lost a spouse. I haven't lost. So it's different ways, to deal with it. And it may feel different if you lose a parent or something like that. So I wanted people who have actually been through these things, who have actually dealt with this stuff, to be able to tell you from their own experience how they've gotten through and how they've dealt with it and how they're still dealing with it. Because for him, case in point, it's very recent. So, but I thank him so much. I thank you so much, John, for agreeing to do it because I wasn't too sure. But I said I'm gonna ask anyway, and see what he say. The worst thing he can say is no, and I will respect that. But he, gladly said yes, and I was so excited, because I know a lot of people want to hear your story. I know you have been telling your story. I know you have been kind of open about what you've been dealing with and what has happened and stuff, but I really wanted to get a little more in depth, so people can really get an insight to where you stand. And I think from a man's point of view, because, as women, we always emotional and stuff, so we always talking about how it's affecting us and stuff, but to hear a man talk about, losing his wife or something like that, that can come different. So I just really wanted to tap your little brain and, get into what you're going through. But starting off, I know you're a father, you're a husband, and you're an artist. You guys, he's an amazing artist. You guys got to check him out. He'll give info later about, his YouTube channel and stuff like that. So you can check him out to get his services. He does great work with that. So John, just tell us something about you. Tell us about yourself.
Wow, it's funny because that doesn't seem like it would be like the most difficult question until you start thinking about it, realizing
Yeah.
over the past couple of years, everything revolves around being a dad. Okay, give me a second, okay? That right there, and being a husband. So it's like, man, who am I besides that?
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I
um,
know.
well, I'll say I'm a Christian. I'm a fireman. I'm a son and a brother, and I guess if I'd say something about me, not about who I am, not so much what I do, is um, I guess I'm just a person that just tries to be there as much as I can for everyone else. So even if I don't know you, so that's pretty much it. Maybe that's how I became a fireman.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to have a extensive list. You don't have to have an extensive list and stuff. And that's why I created the Complete Woman, because I try to help women see themselves outside of those roles, and I can only speak to being a woman in those roles. I can't really speak to a man in those roles, but I know we can get lost in those titles. So I always try to press them to look beyond I'm a mother, a wife, or whatever field you're in. You are a woman first. You are a man first, so you have to really think about that. Who am I? Because if something was to happen to the people around me, who would I be still? So that's a good answer. You don't have to have anything extensive. like I mentioned before, he was married to my friend Tiffany Ortiz. She died recently due to colon cancer. And John, paint a picture of what it was like being in a relationship with Tiffany.
It was like, I mean, we were together for, since we were 17 years old, but um, and you start seeing this a lot more now. It's like it was like seeing like the being like with your best friend, um, and kind of like seeing the best parts of yourself in another person. Something that you're able to share everything with this one person. And I mean, there was never any moment um of wonder, like, or questioning, like, is this okay, is that okay, is this person gonna accept me for this, or accept me for that. It was like I said, we were together for 17 years. um Even when we were 17 years old, like that quick moment of, how people start dating and then they worry about, like, oh, showing your real self type stuff, whatever, which I've only experienced on TV because it was always just me and Tiffany. But like for us, we were friends for a couple of years first, and so to be able to keep that friendship is, I can't express just or stress enough how great it is to be with somebody that's your best friend. Like really is your best friend, and you can just enjoy every day with your best friend. Um, that was just the biggest part of it.
Yeah, yeah, that is absolutely, that's great. I tell people all the time, base your relationship off of friendship and you will be able to have a great relationship. I wanted to quickly point out the painting behind you that your sister Angelica Ortiz did for Tiffany and for your family. It says Tiffany Strong. If you guys can't see, his sister Angelica Ortiz painted that. And if you want to reach out to her on Facebook, Angelica Ortiz, to get anything, she does more than just that. She's doing an amazing job. So if you want to reach out to her to get any paintings or anything else, you can go on her page and see the work that she has been doing. That was absolutely awesome for her to do. So I wanted to shout her out really quick. Hey, Angelica, I know you watching.
That's probably why she called me. Hey, y'all ain't start yet.
Well, I told her, anywho, so we're not gonna. So how so we're gonna get into this nitty gritty stuff. So how was it watching her go through the battle of cancer?
I know people say this all the time, but it's like surreal at first. I'll never forget the doctor telling me the diagnosis. She's in the room. She just had a colonoscopy, and so she's out of it, which you guys saw when I did that video on Facebook, how the medication has you out. So
Mm-hmm.
of course, he tells me everything, and it just felt like it was like this kind of this numbing moment of, this just happened. What are you saying? Like, I need you to
Right.
speak to me in very clear terms because I'm not grasping this right now.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to get a hold of. And once you do, and Tiffany being just that fighter and that, like, just determined person as she's always been, and me being the same way. So two of us together was like, okay, what do we gotta do next? It was just
Mm-hmm.
straight to work. And so initially it didn't. That might in a way kind of covered up just um my way kind of just covered up, I guess, just how like devastating that disease is initially, because we just went straight to work and didn't take the time to kind of really sit back and
Yeah.
say, okay, wow, this is cancer. It was just like, let's do what we got to do. She had her surgery, and then she started chemo about 2 months later. Um, and everything was going just fine. It was moving along. Like, you just thought you would do it and you would finish it almost like as you're going to school and trying to get your degree. Like, hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get through these next 2 years and I'll be fine. And as time went by and we saw medications having side effects and having to switch to different chemos, and then you started really seeing like what the chemo does to you, and how it really affects you physically and mentally and emotionally. Then it got really hard. That's when, after a couple months, that's when it got really hard seeing her like fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when that's when thoughts just start coming to your mind, and it's hard to like not listen to them.
Yeah.
It's hard to not listen to like and think, what do you do if?
Right.
Because both of us have always been somebody that's like kind of planned for, like, that's our careers. You know, our
Mm-hmm.
careers is plan for what if this happens.
Yeah.
But when that what if is in your life, and then you have to see that on a weekly or every 2 week basis, and it's going to chemo, and it's like, what if every time every time there's a step back in the treatment, it's like, okay, what if? And you don't want to think that at
Right.
all. um but you also don't want to be caught off guard. So it's the people use this term a lot, that emotional roller coaster. That's just what it was. That's just what it is. um that's constant. It's ups and downs of, okay, it's okay now, it's not okay now, or now it's horrible, and now it's like, okay, it's back to okay again. And I think only one time during the process we had a moment where it was like this really, really um, positive moment of, okay, treatments look good and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, that was my doorbell. And then treatments are good and all this kind of stuff, and everything's great. And then that went away pretty quick, and then it just never seemed to be that way again.
Mhm. Yeah, I know that could. I mean, from even from my end, I'm not. I wasn't a spouse or anything. I was just a friend. So just to kind of see, the transitions and the changes and all that kind of stuff, it was a lot. So I can't even imagine, having to see it front and center. So you learn about her and yourself during that time.
Okay. Like I said, I always saw how much a fighter she was through
Yeah.
trying to get into nursing school, and then when she got in nursing school, how hard she fought through it, and afterwards how hard she fought to get the job that she wanted, the position at the right hospital and everything. But this showed me so much more, just how much stronger she was than I could ever imagine, that
Mm-hmm.
I could ever imagine being myself. Because I mean, she's like weeks into this thing, and then she's going ahead and making videos for other people,
Yeah.
so other people can see like what this is like.
Yeah.
You know, she's promoting awareness and promoting people, education, so people can um, get screened, so people can
Mhm.
um, get through it, people who are
Yeah.
going through it, and share her story. And initially I was just like, we just need to just worry about ourselves.
Yeah.
And then she's doing this, and then I just couldn't be more proud of her, of how how selfless she was in this. So it just, to
Mhm.
me, it just like amplified just how selfish she was, and how much of a fighter she was. Because like, I wouldn't have done it. I don't
Yeah.
think I could have.
Yeah.
And she worked up until December,
Mhm.
3 months before she passed, still doing everything for the kids, and we're doing this together. And so it just showed me, it just like reinforced to me like just how strong of a person
Mhm.
she has always been. And for me, it just showed me like, what I learned about myself is, I learned to be able to really, really look at all the small things
Mhm.
and realize just how small they were.
Yeah.
Like, people make, it's like when you have one kid, you see somebody, one kid, and they're struggling,
Mhm.
and you have three, and you're like, man, I remember how easy it was with one kid. But at the time,
Yeah.
you just didn't see that.
Yeah.
Um, so now I look at it now, and people say, how do you take the kids to, like, well, not right now, I don't take them to the mall, but I used to
Mhm.
before Corona and stuff. And um, like, people say, how do you do that? Take kids to the mall by yourself, or the park by yourself, or the days I would go while she was home, like resting from treatment.
Mhm.
And I just learned how to be, a more, you know, efficient and, just a stronger parent to the
Yeah.
kids, because of all this. It's kind of thrown in the deep end, but I learned how to do it. And
Mhm.
it's something that obviously now, as it now being the only option of being um, just being me here, at least I don't feel like I'm going into it, you know, without any experience prior to it,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that's true. What you said about her doing the videos and stuff like that, I agree. When she started doing them, first of all, I was like, you're doing videos, you're doing like that's not what you do. So
Yeah.
when she started doing it and she started really being open with what she was going through, I was so proud of that because even now with her sister, Tamara Shaw, you guys go check out her YouTube channel. She has a YouTube channel as well on grief, her twin sister, and she started it because of what she's dealing with, the journey of losing her sister. So when they both started doing stuff like that, I was just like, I told both of them, I was like, listen, I know y'all, and that ain't even, that's not what y'all do. So the fact that y'all are doing it, that is amazing. I am extremely proud, and looking back on it now with her being so open about it and being transparent about her journey, it can help and has helped so many people. Because even myself, the conversations me and her would have and from the videos that she would post and stuff, I was like, I didn't even know that. It's still stuff now when you guys post stuff or you talk about stuff, I be like, I didn't even know that. Like,
Yeah.
I be so like lost, but it's good that you guys are all sharing what your experience was, what you have learned from that. That is really good. Um, how is it now dealing with her being gone?
It's I was thinking about this actually like today. I was thinking like it's funny you brought that question about like who am I, and I was like, oh man, yeah,
Mhm.
that always seemed like an easy question 2 years ago, and now it doesn't so much. And now dealing, it's kind of like a trying to find myself in all of this, because so much of myself was rooted in everything she and I
Mhm.
had.
Yeah,
Some of myself was I grew up and
yeah,
learned and, you know, found out so much being Jonathan and Tiffany,
yeah,
always. I mean, my sister Angelica, she'll laugh at this. They used to call her Shadow because she was always my shadow. She's always around,
yeah.
since
She
she's
was
17 years
always.
old. She's like,
Mhm.
"Where's your shadow at?" Anytime I actually went to some family event and she wasn't there, I was like, "Where's your shadow at?" And but
Mhm.
that was really like a term of like endearment, because it was just
Yeah,
like you two were always joined at the hip.
yeah,
And to now it feels like half of you's gone.
yeah,
um, and the other half of me has to be dad, and the other half of me, has to do all the things that those titles, fulfill all
mm,
those titles, dad, and fireman, and and brother, son. But it's like that other half of me that's like, I know it's like just an empty canvas or something that kind of I have to learn how to fill at some point.
mhm.
Because I haven't had to live my life as just me in a very, very, very long time, and now I'm
Yeah,
an adult, so I don't really know how to do that. But so that's the personally a very difficult part. And then of course the part that kind of extends past myself is, the children. It's there's no break really, but they don't just require me now; they require a lot more of me. Um,
yeah,
and dealing with trying to, because there's not going to be a, you know um they're going to forget type thing. Like, the
yeah,
pictures are all on the walls, you know there's pictures everywhere in the house, and I haven't taken them down, and I won't take them down. I mean, it's like they have to know their mom forever, and they ask for their mom. um and so it's kind of, I find a balance between, them always knowing her, and of course them, you know getting through it,
yeah,
trying to grow up past it. So that's a difficult transition that I'm still trying to figure out. But they're they hold me together. So
Yeah.
they help me.
Kids will do that, man. Kids would definitely help you deal with a lot of that stuff, So that's and it's because it's so fresh, you still are trying to figure it out. You're not gonna have it all together. I don't think anybody ever really gets it all the way together, no matter how long it's been, you just learn how to deal day by day, and that's why when I text you or something like that, say, hey, take your time, don't worry about what nobody else say. Don't worry about how nobody else feel. It's about you and those kids right now, and you need to make sure that y'all are straight. So whatever you got to do to deal with that, deal with it. Do it how
Yeah.
you do it. We can't judge you at all because
Yeah.
can't like. And if they do, just text me. I got you.
All right. I appreciate it. Give him some.
So you kind of answered my other questions that I have. So I'm gonna go to I got a couple more. What can you say that can help others dealing with something like this and also bring awareness to colon cancer?
Um, what I can say to them is try to find something that, like something healthy that is some sort of outlet. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because for me it's only been 4 months as of yesterday, and it's been the longest and shortest 4 months of my life. Okay, so I'm also an ambassador of the organization Fight CRC,
Uh-huh.
for fight colorectal cancer. And it's fightcrc.org.
Mm-hmm.
And, um, they do a lot of great work, um, bringing awareness and also trying to get legislation passed. For instance, trying to get the age of screening
Mm-hmm.
lowered. It was 50 at one point, and they got lowered to 45. But my wife was 15 years younger,
Mm-hmm.
than that age when the doctor said around time she may have been developing that. There's a young kid named Jaden, that I posted about him on my Facebook, who's 12, fighting, I believe, for the second time. Another young kid that had passed that was 16. I posted about him on my Facebook. A friend of ours named Anna that we've met through the organ, met through this journey here.
Mm-hmm.
She's 34 right now,
Mm-hmm.
fighting it, going through clinical trials and everything she can to be around for her 2-year-old daughter. See
Yeah.
her 2-year-old daughter grow up. So that to me is the part that's closest to my heart, is getting this age changed.
Yeah.
Because it was like pulling teeth trying to get my screening done, because I'm
Oh,
34.
wow.
you know so, and fortunately I was able to get it done, but there's too many
Yeah.
people at too young of an age that are going through this. So if you really really want to, like, even if you think, look, I'm 38 years old, this is never gonna happen to me, I don't have any abdominal problems. Tiffany didn't notice them until she's already stage 4.
Yeah.
So you gotta try your best to to get screened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good information because, like I said, until she even went through this, I really didn't know much. I was more worried about like breast cancer and stuff like that. I wasn't even thinking about colon cancer. So, now it's just like, that's why I say, like I said it before, when something goes on with me now, I tell the doctors everything. It could be a little itch, it could be a little pain. Listen, it's something going on, and I need you to do something about it because I don't have time for them problems. So, okay, so that is all that I have for you, John. I thank you so much for joining me. How can people follow you and contact you for your art services?
Oh, okay. Okay, for that. I am on Instagram, and it's Nismo Art. It's NIZMO_art. And like I got into doing what's called, like, customizing sneakers, just a few years ago, and really honestly for me it's been like a huge therapy thing for like in the past 2 years, as a, like I said, getting that major outlet. And I'm on YouTube, and then the name I go by under is Johnny Nismo. That's because I'm Jonathan, and Nismo is a car I drive. So that's JONNYNISMO.
Cool. So guys, make sure you go follow him on YouTube, subscribe to his YouTube page, and get the notification bell so you can make sure that you see all the things that he's doing, and hit him up for his services. Go look on his page, go look on his Instagram page, and look at all the things that he's already done. He is absolutely amazing. Y'all already know I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not gonna just tell you that. He is absolutely amazing. My husband is definitely like trying to get some stuff done.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know he's hitting me up all the time.
Yeah, because every time he see you do something, he be like, so he do, okay, let me call him. So he definitely will be getting with you and all that stuff. But yeah, you guys make sure you follow him. Make sure you reach out if you ever want to just reach out and just say you're praying for him or something like that. Do that. And if you want to send donations, he's open to that as well, to his children or to himself. If you want to bless him or something, you can definitely do that. If you want to contact me to make sure that he gets whatever you want to give to him, I will do that as well. We always want to be a blessing to those around us, because you never know when you're going to have someone bless you as well. Because like he said, they weren't thinking about this. This happened to them, and it happened in a matter of 2 years. So, hey, you never know when the shoe will be on the other foot. So always have somebody else on your mind. Now, you can follow me on this YouTube page. You can make sure you just subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see all of my videos, and go back and watch the ones that you have missed. As well, go to Latoya Shantae Kite on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow me there as well. And you can contact me an email, thecompletewoman19@gmail.com. So that's all I have today for my podcast, Talks with Toya, all of that stuff. You guys keep looking out for more stuff that I got going on. Goodbye, my loves.
Yeah.